Hello and welcome to this video, Resume Purpose and Gathering Information for Your Resume. My name is Vanessa Massey and I am the owner and operator of Right Time Resume Service. First, let's talk about resume facts and purpose. A resume has about 15 to 30 seconds to get a hiring manager's attention. That doesn't mean they're going to read it in 15 or 30 seconds, but it does mean that you have to grab them. You have to grab their attention. That doesn't mean fancy borders, fancy font, clip art, or pictures. It means the content and how you lay your resume out. The formatting has to be very readable, very clean, and the content has to grab their attention. Your resume is your sales pitch. Much like an infomercial on television is there solely to sell a product, your resume is to sell you to an employer. The main difference between an infomercial and your resume is your resume will be completely true. It's to generate employer interest and secure an interview. That's extremely important to differentiate. A resume will get your foot in the door via an interview, but how you perform in the interview will dictate whether or not you get the position. But a well-crafted resume, a resume that shows you in the best light, will give you confidence going into an interview. It will also, putting together a resume will get you in the mindset of telling people who you are and what you can do. So a well-crafted resume is a foundation to build your brand and get the position that you want. It's to list your qualifications for what you want to do, not what you've done in the past. So it's not just a bullet list of job tasks that you've done. It has to be more than that. And you should put as much effort into creating and updating a resume along with the rest of your job search as you would if you had a regular job. If you would go to a job for 40 hours a week, your job search, creating resumes, refining them for specific positions, crafting good individual cover letters, tracking your job search, building your brand, looking for positions, networking, all of that you should be spending between 30 and 40 hours a week doing. If you truly want the position that you are looking for, it takes work, and it takes a lot of work. But your resume is one very important key to that foundation, to that search. First thing you want to do is assemble a work history document. The name of the company, the location and city and state of the company, the dates worked, and the skills that you used in the job duties you performed. Once you have your skills and your job duties, what you need to do after that is look at the highlights of your career. Were you a top salesperson in a quarter? Did you manage a team? Were you put in charge of a project? Any of those types of things. That definitely, those highlights need to be on your resume as well. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of very informative tools that will help you with wording, verbiage, all of that type of thing when you're putting your resume together, and just simply if you haven't been in a position for a while, just trying to remember everything that you did. The first website that I want to talk about is the Directory of Occupational Titles, or ONET Online. If we click on the hyperlink that I've put in this PowerPoint, it'll take a minute for it to come up. It's going to show you that it's broken down in a couple of different ways, but the two tabs I want to focus on are summary and details. It breaks it down into individual sections: tasks, tools, technology, knowledge, skills, abilities, etc. And what it does is, under each section, it tells for an administrative assistant what that position typically entails. For tasks, use computers for various applications, answer telephones and give information to callers, create, maintain, and enter information into databases, The knowledge you would need would be clerical, English language, customer and personal service, computers and electronics. Some of the skills: writing, active listening, speaking, time management, and it breaks it all down. Now, if you click on details, it gives even more details about each section that's listed in the summary. Talks about use computers for various applications such as database management and word processing. Everything is broken down even more. Your knowledge, like instead of just saying clerical, knowledge of administrative clerical procedures, customer and personal service, knowledge of principles and processes for providing customer service and personal services. Now, the one thing I will tell you is when you are using ONET Online, do not copy and paste from ONET. You need to put everything on your resume. It needs to be professional language, but it needs to be your words. You can use ONET to maybe make it sound a little more professional, but it needs to be, you need to write it for a couple of reasons. One, an employer is going to ask you about your resume. They're going to read your resume and ask you to tell them about things that you've written on there. If you put it in your own words, it's easier for you to verbalize the experience and the skills you have based on what you wrote on the resume. Another reason is it needs to be short and to the point, and you don't get that on ONET. ONET is also not personalized to you. You need to personalize your resume to what you've done and the skills that you have and how you can benefit a company, because that is what your resume is for. Your resume is to show employers how you can benefit them. You have to, that's one reason why you should always customize a resume, if at all possible, to each job position, because you need to show them when they put in a job description, or if you have networked with someone and they tell you they're looking for someone, they're going to give you specific skills and mindsets that they need for that position. That's what personalizing your resume will do. It will give them it will show them what they're looking for, you can provide. We're going to look at medical assistant. I want to show you a couple of different industries so you can see what I'm talking about, how it gives general but very informative information. You've got, for medical assistant, record patient medical history, prepare and administer medications, some of the tools that you use, the knowledge that they need, the skills, the abilities, so on and so forth. Now, ONET has everything from cashier to tugboat captain to farmer. So you should always be able to find something that you're looking for. If we put in cashier, it'll bring up different occupations that fall under that umbrella of cashier. And then you can just click on it if it pertains to you. Now, another thing we can do is go to Google. Google is very helpful when you're trying to maybe think of ways to word it on a resume. Again, you don't ever want to take from word for word, but it'll give you a good idea of what you want to do. So say we put in cashier job duties, and it'll pull up different websites, a generic job description, cashier job description on monster.com, and it'll tell you some duties, itemizes and totals purchases, enters price changes, discount purchases, so on and so forth. Again, you don't want to just copy and paste. Put it into your own words. Another thing you can do, again, I caution you to always put it into your own words, but you can also go something along the lines of samples. Cashier resume sample. And if you click on job interviews, and it gives you an idea of cashier work experience. Now, one of the reasons I will tell you To put it into your own words and maybe just use this as an idea, is when you put that into Google, you're not always going to come up with the best looking resume. So you always want to use these maybe to jar your memory on job duties, but you don't ever want to just go and take it word for word, because sometimes some of those resumes are not well written. So keep that in mind. That ends this video for resumes. If you have any questions or comments, please click into the comment box below this video. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear your comments if you have any questions. And stay tuned. There will be several other videos in this collection about resumes, formatting, content, and also tools to use for your job search. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.